Hello, Veronica. It's Mr. Shawn here, ready to read another story to you. So, we've been doing this for a while now. I hope you're getting these, and I hope you're enjoying being at home. Hopefully, you're getting outside and playing and enjoying the sun when it's out. All right, so today's story is Dopey by Anne Harth. That's an interesting name for a story. Have you ever heard or read or seen the story Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Dopey is one of those dwarfs. So let's see what this is about. Jason raced to the car after school. Dad, I'm in the school play. Great. What's the play? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh, go figure. Does your school do plays? Or maybe you do something in the classroom. They might call them skits, which are short little things where you act things out. Let me guess, you're the king. Nope. The prince. Nope. Give up. I give up. I'm Dopey. Dopey, huh? That's a pretty important part. That he is. I have to do a dance by myself. I'm going to be the best Dopey ever. Good for you. Again, you want to do the best you can in anything that you do. It's called excellence. You have excellence. You're doing the best you can do. The second graders had play practice every day. The show was only 3 weeks away. Jason learned his dance quickly. Ooh, he's doing his dance. Look at him go. This must be the teacher. I don't know if they have a separate, they call it drama teacher, or if it's the classroom teacher. He kicked his legs and jumped 3 times. He spun in a circle and touched the floor. He clapped his hands and jumped again. Then everyone came out and bowed. You know, so do you dance? Do you like to jump and do different things? Kick your legs when you're dancing? Maybe touch the floor? All kinds of good stuff. Jason practiced at lunchtime. He practiced before bed. He practiced at school and at home. He even practiced at swimming lessons. Mm, Yep, water is a good place to try and do things and move. It's easier on you and it's fun. So when you have something to do and you need to remember it, practice, practice, practice. It was the day before the show, and Jason was ready. He practiced one more time before he went to bed. Get him kicking high and moving his arms. Dad tucked him in, ready for tomorrow. Jason nodded. Will there be lots of people? Dad pulled up the blanket. I don't know. Maybe. Betcha there will be. Jason snuggled into the covers. I hope there won't be too many. Dad turned off the light. Don't worry, you'll be fine. It was almost time for the show to start. Jason peeked through the curtains. The lights in the auditorium were still on. Looks like a lot of people. Look at his face. A little bit concerned. He could see his father in the front row. The room was filled with people. They were watching the stage. So where do you think his dad is in this group of people? Hard to tell. Could be him. Jason's stomach felt funny. He wiped his hands on his baggy, dopey pants. He could feel his heart beating. Could he dance in front of all these people? He's getting nervous. That's what happens. Your stomach feels funny and your hands start to sweat a little bit. See how he does. The show started. The dwarves walked out on stage. Jason went with them. Snow White ate the poisoned apple and fell asleep. The prince woke her up. The show was almost over. It was time for Dopey's dance. Everyone left the stage except Jason. He looked into the crowd. His dad smiled and waved. There were so many people. Oh, sometimes they call that stage fright, where you get so nervous you can't do anything. Let's see what happens to Peter, though. I think he's going to do it. Or Jason, sorry. Jason couldn't move. He stared at the audience and they stared at him. His legs wobbled and his stomach hurt. Uh-oh. He's frozen. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he just starts doing it. Suddenly, someone turned on a spotlight. Jason blinked. He looked at the audience again. He couldn't see them. Yeah, that happens when you have a spotlight in your face, which is a very bright light. You can't see anything because of that light. The stage was as bright as a sunny day. The audience was in darkness. It seemed like they had disappeared. Jason closed his eyes for a second. The music started, and so did Jason's feet. He kicked his legs and jumped 3 times. There he is. Look at him go. He spun in a circle and touched the floor. He clapped his hands and jumped again. The spotlight went out, and Jason could see the audience. They were clapping. His dad stood up. Other people did too. The rest of the class came onto the stage. They held their hands and took a bow. Woo, that's what you do. The end of a performance. So it sounded like Jason got what they call a standing ovation. So people stand up and clap. When you get a standing ovation, that means people really liked what you did. Maybe you'll get a standing ovation someday. That doesn't happen to everybody. It's never happened to me, but that's okay. Again, just do the best you can. Dad found Jason after the show. He gave him a hug. You were right, he said. Right about what? Said Jason. You were the best dopey ever. Whew, very good. The author of this story probably feels that performing in front of others is. What do you think? How do you think the author feels about practicing before a performance? So, how do you think the author feels that about performing in front of others? What do you think it is? Do you remember? He got wobbly and stomach was felt strange. Remember what I said? Feel nervous about that. So, yep, that's what happens. So, how do you think about what do you think the author feels about practicing before a performance? So, when was Jason practicing in the story? How often? He was practicing all the time, wasn't he? Before bed, at school, even when he was at swimming lessons. So, practice, practice, practice. Always keep practicing. So, you'll be ready for the performance. All right, Veronica, that's our story for today. So, until next time, bye bye.